say macaroni and cheese, you say everybody freeze. Macaroni and cheese.
Everybody freeze.
Okay. Who can share out something they heard another person share about using this structure?
My partner basically said that we were going to use it for science, like so you can do things.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
What if you have a kid that literally cannot choose which one to do?
There's not a choice. And we might start that as an expectation. So when I'm beginning, and I'm going to show you in a moment what setting expectations might look like for a structure. But if we're beginning this structure and most of my students will know what this structure is because we've used it in the past. But I will say what are expectations we need to remember. Because we've already talked about it, my students will say, well, we will only go to one corner and we have to make a choice. If the students do not say that, that is an expectation you need to bring up. Remember, choosing or not deciding is not a choice. We will all make a decision about which corner to go to. And if they have a hard time making a choice, you can say, you can make a choice, or I can choose for you. What would you like to do? They will usually make a choice. So, yes?
My partner suggested that you utilize the pictures to see how comfortable they are with the topic that you're going to be teaching, so you go to where they feel most comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Not so comfortable with that subject.
Right, that's a great idea. I mean, there are a multitude of ways that you could use this structure. Okay, so let's talk about quiz trade, and this is one that I'm going to model for you. Quiz trade can be used with any skill whatsoever. It could be a math skill, it could be science, social studies, literacy, it really could be anything. For quiz trade, let me just model for you what this looks like with the class. So I'm going to pretend that you are my fourth graders. And I'm going to use these guys to model. So be thinking about the things that you notice as I go through explaining this learning structure. Today we're going to be doing a learning structure called quiz trade. With quiz trade, you are going to become an expert on the card that I give you. Today, you are thinking about expanded notation. You will become an expert at expanded notation for the card that you have. If you have difficulty with that, you can turn and visit with a friend so that you can become an expert on expanded notation for this number. Once everyone is an expert at the number on their card, I'm going to ask you to meet up with a partner. Your partner will also have a card. You will quiz your partner on expanded notation for the card that you have. So you will say, what is expanded notation for this number? Your partner will share his or her thinking. If they've gotten it correct, you'll give a gentle high five and say, way to go. If your partner needs to think a little bit more about this because they are incorrect, you might say, try again, or you might say, would you like some help? You might help them if they ask for help. Once you have quizzed your partner and your partner has quizzed you, you will trade cards and you will move to a new partner. You will continue to choose different partners until you hear a signal to stop. What are some expectations we will need to keep in mind for quiz trade? What will be important to remember? Okay? Okay?
Kind of low voices.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so one of the things, kind of pause, take a break out of that scene. One of the things that you might notice is a lot of students will say, well, we're not going to run, or we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. I will never ask them what we will not do. I will say, what will we do? What will we do? So if they respond with, we will not run, I will say, then what will we do? So that you're only thinking about the positive response to the expectations that you're setting, okay? So I am going to allow them to take cards, and when I say go, you will begin quiz trade. When you hear the signal to stop, you will stop, look, and listen. Are there questions about this? That's a good question. Let's come right back to it because we're going to talk about that in a moment. All right, go. So you'll stand and quiz tray. I just gave it to random people, but you can take one. quiz tray. Go ahead and stand, and you guys can go. If you don't have a card, it's okay. Yep, and I'm listening in.
What is the expanded notation of this number?
2,800,000. That is a million.
Want to do my partner first? Okay. We do this together.
Classity class.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Stop, look, and listen. Give your partner a high five, say way to go, and then go back to your seat. Okay, so what are some things that you guys noticed about that before we talk about how you can use this? Things that you noticed about the management, about what I did as a